All right, so now we're gonna move into our cheers to the ladies who section, where we shout out people doing dope shit and dope shit that's happening. So today, we're 2 days out of our health challenge that we did. So for those who didn't tune in before, Skittles and I did a health hunt challenge, which went an array of different ways. And I think it was interesting because the timing of the challenge, I was like set for June, and then my life turned the fuck upside down, and I've been so busy. And then even Skittles too, with like ending the school year, was so busy that like in retrospect, I'm like, oh well, was that the best month? And then I was like, actually yes, because starting today, that whole thing like don't wait until tomorrow, start today. I feel like that's very much what happened. And so like at first it was like strenuous, and then it, in some ways I sort of felt like I forgot about some of the guidelines I set for myself, except for the vegan thing. Like I stayed 100% vegan, and we initially started like saying we're gonna give you like we're gonna be like 85% vegan, and then we wiggle room for things. And then I sort of said flat out in the beginning, like, yes, but I want to try to actually challenge myself to do something. And I have to say, like, if reporting back, I do feel a lot more energized when I wake up in the morning. My asthma has been incredibly good compared to what it's usually like. Like, I can actually catch a train now. Like, there were times where it's like I'm running late, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna start it because then I'm gonna trigger an asthma attack, and then I'm gonna have to do this whole thing. And like, it's hard to be 28 feeling 75. You know what I mean? Especially like when you have so many different hustles and so many people that are depending on you, and you needing to have room to depend on yourself for you to show up for yourself is such a challenge. But in a weird way that I didn't expect, just the change in eating habit has helped elevate that, and I kind of don't want to lose that. So I know that I am going to try to continue eating vegan, and I may introduce, I know myself, and like I'm missing eggs like crazy for some reason. And there are moments where it's like, damn, I would like something that my brain registers as like a protein meat thing. And fish, for some reason, is always categorized in that, even though I know technically it's not. But fish, I think I might reintroduce some fish, shrimp situations, but sparingly, right? I'm not aiming to like just eat these things every day now, but like when I want to indulge, I'll indulge in those ways so that I have some sort of guideline. So how was it for you, Skittles? You didn't really check in on each other as much.
No, wait, you know what? I think that what's crazy is like we were good about it in the beginning, and then as the month went on and as we became busier and stuff started happening, like I stopped even like really documenting. I would document
here and
Instagram here and there, but towards the end I kind of fell off seriously, like documenting everything that I was eating. But I almost think that being so busy with work helped me just kind of say fuck it and like just do it, and so kind of like the first week I was good, and then like I cheated that weekend, and I will say that I cheated a good amount of times. Like I cheated a solid 10 times in the 30 days that we did it. But it wasn't like these humongous, like I'm going on binge eating riots during the day. It wasn't like I was going to a Kennedy's and getting like a 15-piece of chicken or whatever. But it was more so just kind of like me saying like, well, you know what? I want a chicken breast with my salad, so I'm gonna have a chicken breast with my salad. And it was like those types of cheats. It wasn't like these humongous like, reverting back to everything. And then I constantly had to tell myself like, well, if I cheated today, then I can restart it and do it again tomorrow and like continue it again. And I think for me, which I didn't necessarily mean to do this, but like you saw on Snapchat, I started taking pictures of myself just to kind of motivate myself so I can kind of keep track visually of where I was. And so I took a picture like the week before we started, and then like the first week, the second week, and the third week, and then slowly but surely you started seeing like results in the pictures, and that's when I was like, oh, bitch, I gotta keep on doing this. But the same type of thing with you, like having more energy, my skin cleared.
Your skin
some
looks
more,
great.
like because I'm the type of person that I get manchas, and I still have like here, I get it here, I have it here, but they've gotten lighter. From eating.
Yeah, they're usually a lot darker.
Yeah. And so I think that for me, I'm definitely going to decrease my intake of meat, period. I don't want to say that I'm going to continue being vegan, because I found that being vegan added a level of like stress that I wasn't trying to necessarily, deal with in terms of like, oh, well, do you know the French fries were fried in the same oil as the chicken, like stuff like that.
Yeah, I kept telling people, okay, I'm not that vegan.
Yeah.
I was like drawing the line somewhere where I was like, nah, I can't do that.
Yeah, so I couldn't do that much, but I definitely, you know, I definitely do want to keep the decreased level of meat that I have been at, where I really haven't been touching meat, period. I have been craving chicken though, and you know I love me some chicken wings. Like I love chicken wings. So yesterday I did cheat and have chicken wings, but you know, like having, you know, I definitely want to decrease, especially like with the red meats, maybe reintroduce some chicken. I haven't necessarily been craving eggs. And dairy like that.
Cheese is...
So I think I'm gonna...
Cheese is pizza specifically. Like, I keep craving pizza. Cheese. Like, I'm not craving, like, even mac and cheese. Like, I was telling Juan, I feel like I don't remember what mac and cheese tastes like. It's only been a month. It hasn't even been that long. But for some reason, there's certain things that, like, I crave. And, like, when I serve myself, me paso. Like, if there's mac and cheese that looks good,
there's good vegan mac and cheese.
There are some good vegan mac and cheese. What I did discover, I hate vegan cheese. Like, there's certain brand, I was just like, this is gross. And some that were recommended by people who had recommended other things that were excellent. And they're like, yeah, try this vegan cheese. And then I was like, nope, don't like that. So, but I think with vegan cheese, I'd rather probably like cut out cheese in moments and not try to imitate cheese in certain dishes. It depends on the dish that I consider. But like, you know, health overall, you know, we did it because we wanted to be healthy overall and sort of like discover something new that we haven't discovered about ourselves. And I think that, you know, being busy, I'm sure you can relate to how difficult it is to maintain your health and like keep a routine. So how do you keep your health and work balance?
Ooh, well, first of all, here's my unsolicited. I love how like people always use the zodiac sign or like the Mercury like retrograde. Like this is maybe at a Sagittarius, so it's not Carolina. So one thing I've learned, I've done like I tried being vegan for like a week once, and I respect everyone who does whatever they want.
Right.
But one of the reasons why I think both of you are feeling the way you're feeling, I think the food has a lot to do with it. But I also think that it's being successful at something.
Right.
And being disciplined at something that kind of triggers your brain to say, I'm the shit. I can do this. I can do something successfully. And I think that I've learned that celebrating small like achievements works with just triggering my mind to feel healthier and better, right? In terms of food, I'm like an intuitive eater. It's like a thing. There's a book out there. And it basically means like whatever your body wants to eat, like you feed it, right? But if you're in a emotionally, mentally, physically good state, your body intuitively is going to want certain things, right? So like when I'm really intuitively eating, I don't crave bad things all the time. And I hate calling them bad things because I do have French fries sometimes. I do have a burger sometimes or whatever. When I feel like I want to do it, you know? When I'm not in a good mental state, when I'm like feeling depressed or, you know, when I'm feeling like anxious or worried or stressed, then I'm craving really like not so healthy things, right? And so the goal is to try and maintain sort of these state of mind so that my body will want certain things. So I have a plant-based diet, and I don't mean diet like I'm following a diet. It's just basically like my plate is very colorful. I love having like a whole corner full of greens, so whether it's a salad or whether it's like sauteed kale, and I've learned to make kale in such a delicious way, like sauteing it with either garlic or onion and then using different spices to kind of like spice up the kale. So sometimes I use like cumin and like paprika or something, and another time I'll use like hot peppers and like the onion salt from Trader Joe's. It's like, and it makes the kale taste differently. And then I have a side of my plate where there is like some kind of either sauteed chicken but with more vegetables, so it's like sneaking in all like the vegetables anywhere I can. And then I'll do quinoa, or I'll do like sauteed sweet potatoes or mashed potatoes, and And I love cheese, and I'll try to do a little cheese in my salads, and my salads are so good because they have like plantain croutons, which is my new discovery.
Girl, where?
On Amazon, girl. I got mine at like this conference that I went to, this food conference a week ago, but they sell it on Amazon, and I'm running out, so I'm gonna buy it for like $4 for $14.99 or something.
What?
Yo, plantain crouton? Are you kidding me? So it adds that crunch for me, like with food. I like crunch, and I do like the sweet and sour, or the sweet and salty, and sweet and savory and stuff. And so I add like either a fruit of some sort, whether it's pear or whether it's oranges or apples or dry cranberries, and then I add a little bit of like, you know, like a nut, so maybe cashews or maybe. So this is all things that I put in my salads. My salads are not regular schmegular.
Right.
My salads are like
got some boss AF. Yes.
And so I do like to make food really fun. Food is definitely a love language for me. And then finally, one of the things that really works for me too is meal prepping. So picking out 1 or 2 days out of the week to set up my fridge in a way where like I'm not just running to get the bad stuff or ordering food, but things are either fully prepped or slightly prepped. Like vegetables are washed and chopped up. So then just like, you know, so it's just choosing and doing that religiously. I was actually telling you that for me too, putting everything on my calendar, even if I'm dating someone or my sister's coming into town, everything's on my calendar. If you didn't make it into my calendar, it's not happening.
Yeah,
pretty much. And so I put it in my calendar, and if you are asking me to go out that night that I'm supposed to be meal prepping, the likelihood of me going out is really slim. Yeah. Because meal prepping is a priority. Because I know that if I go out or I do something for someone during that time that I can't replace somewhere else, my whole week just is effed up. Right. And then I end up spending all this money on like ordering food, and it's just like, no, thank you.
Yeah. So that level of discipline, I think, is where like what my next level will be is really getting set, because my schedule's too crazy for anything for me to be consistently cooking for myself every day. And you know, during the challenge, because I think even exploring veganism as a whole, because I was toying with this idea that maybe I would like live in that for a longer time than just the 30 days, I was taking the opportunity to be like, okay, yeah, like I have a craving. Okay, I can eat these French fries. This is not healthy, but it is vegan, so I'm going to stick to that. And really wanting to understand, like outside of a health challenge, what is it like if I really just ate vegan? And so, you know, here in Harlem, there's a really great juice place on 125th in Madison. I don't want to butcher the name, it starts with a J, but like they make vegan patties, right? So it's a Jamaican spot, and they make vegan patties. So I've had like beef patties and like all this stuff. Yes. So like these beef patties, and they're like amazing, and then they sell fresh juices. So I keep getting this juice that has like grapefruit, celery, ginger, lemon, and something else in it, right? And I've been drinking that and having patties. And I discovered another spot called Uptown Veg, and it's also on 125th Street, but it's between Madison and 5th. And they have like an array. You can have curry chicken. The spot we went to with Melanie, actually, you were right. It was fully vegan, not just vegetarian. And so like they make, and I discovered this yesterday, but they make like pastries, which, you know, like yesterday I had a pastry and it was amazing. Like better than, I had a corn muffin and it was better than any corn muffin that I've had that's made non-vegan. And I was like, shit, so I can still be fat and vegan, so now I gotta be not that I didn't know that, but I was just like, I enjoyed it enough that it's like worth the indulgence. So, you know, I don't think that in the health challenge I really kept to the part of like making sure it stayed green, but I did far more than I do in a normal like time period, but still not quite like the challenge. I had a coach down my neck, they would have been yelling at some of my plates, but they were vegan. But they were vegan, and that's what I kept doing.
There were a couple of days where I was like on my treat myself stuff where I was still staying in the challenge, but I was getting chinos, you know, but I was getting vegetable fried rice, and I was getting the broccoli and the brown sauce, and not getting the chicken or whatever. And so I stayed in in necessarily being vegan or vegetarian, but it's chinos, that's fried rice. Stuff like that.
My friend Wendy and her business partner Wendy and Jess, they have an amazing podcast and an amazing shameless plug, right?
Yes, we
and an amazing Instagram called Food Heaven Made Easy, or Food Heaven. And one of the things that they say is like, you know, restricting yourself so much will cause you to binge, right? So creating all these restrictions and all these like rules, you know, and it's like, again, to each his own. And like people are like, they swear by keto or they swear by paleo or whatever, or paleo, whatever.
Yeah.
But creating all of these like sort of like restrictions, it does create that anxiety that you're all talking about, like, oh my god, it has to be this or it has to be that. That overthinking. And I remember that one week that I wasn't only vegan, I was raw vegan for a week. It was just like a week, like, and that's what I wanted. And you know, I don't think I would do that again. I wouldn't do that again because the amount of time that it took for me to think about what was raw vegan, it was just too much on my brain to like think, and I could have like literally spent more time thinking about something else. One, and two, I every time you're literally like staying away from something specifically just because or whatever, like you're gonna want that more. Right. So then you're inclined to binge instead of just having it in moderation. Yeah. So these are two like straight up like registered dietitians. They got their masters, both of them, in nutrition. Shout out to they literally are like, eat carbs, eat sweets, like in moderation, you know, and like if you don't eat that, like you're gonna want it more, and then you're gonna just, it's not gonna be sustainable, right? So we want to create something that's like lifestyle changing, and it's something we could do all the time instead of just picking it up every time we want to lose weight. Right. So I'm back on that sort of green eating or like clean eating, which is like trying not to eat things that come in a can or like, you know what I mean, that are super processed. I'm not a vegetarian by any means. I do try not to eat so much meat, you know. Right. And I do, like both of you have mentioned, you know, my skin is fucking popping. Yes, it is. You are glowing. And it's not just the Bobby Brown, like, whatever highlighter. But it's because
I'm glad you shut that, because like, I peeped. I don't want to say it. I love that highlight. I love it.
But it's also because I drink a lot of water, and because I'm, you know, I tend to eat a lot of fruits and a lot of veggies.
Water and lemon.
Oh my god.
I love the lemon.
I really like I don't like drinking water any other way now. Like I just or even juices. Like I prefer water with lemon now.
I love seltzer water.
Me too. Yes. Well, thanks for sharing those tips. And I do think that is very important, like you said, to keep in mind what's realistic and what works for you. And so, you know, I think for me, like I said, next level is meal prep, but Skittles and I
gotta start working out. Yep, that's the next level.
So we're going to bump it up a notch, and we are going to add fitness to this challenge. So now, like we've said, we're going to still keep healthy eating in mind and keep going as much as possible, but now the focus is going to be finding workout routines and things that work for us. So you know, in the coming like weeks, months, you'll see us going through different challenges and like trying out different things. I'm trying to get us in a pole class. No promises. No promises. Because Lord knows that I can't pole dancing. Yes.
I kind of like you had this incredible DVD. I was like,
did you really?
Yeah. I kind of bought it.
Yes.
When I was like a freshman sophomore in college, or maybe someone gifted it to me. But I remember doing the
yes.
Yes, I'm working out.
I love that. Yeah. So we'll be doing some of that. So definitely everyone stay tuned for that.